requests, and we have one. Mr. Oliva, if you come forward, please state your name for the record. You will have 3 minutes. Welcome.
I'd like to request a point of personal privilege and ask the rules be suspended in order to recognize Miss Allard and thank her. I waited 7 hours at the last meeting and there was adjournment because of, well, thanking Mr. Dunbar. We have some of our constituents here, so if you wouldn't start the clock and make a motion to suspend the rules so we can thank Miss Allard.
Thank you, Mr. Oliva. The clock is running. You have 3 minutes. 2.5.
I'm going to ask that 5 seconds of my time go to the constituents to boo at that decision as cowardly and basically spineless to recognize Miss Allard. So I'll carry on that I got trespassed. I consulted legal counsel and it was invalid. And here it is. It's signed by CSSSISSY. And so, hey, that person can use this for toilet paper. Now, I gave you a packet that my land is next to the Brother Francis shelter, and it's been negatively impacted. The outer order sequence is when the mayor vetoed 1.2 million to the shelter, but there was no input from the neighborhood. And I was the one negatively impacted and have been through inverse condemnation, taking my property, my livelihood. You ruined my life and you have no conscience, and it's unbelievable you would do that. And when I sued the shelter, there was 800 calls. It turned and increased to 15,000 to 18,000. The Sullivan are a bunch of sissies over there, and especially with Centennial Park. They don't know the number of calls and what I witnessed. I think it was wrong, and when they applied for their conditional use, that during the consent agenda, they were able to give testimony. Well, they said there was no negative impact. Suing someone and receiving $30,000 is definitely negative impact. And Mr. Peterson was here when I came and offered to give the money back so they'd get a security guard, garbage pickup, and a medic, and no one took the money. This is a shameful act of condemning my property and costing me my livelihood. I think it's wrong. I think you should review. If you review contracts over 30,000, you did nothing for 1.2 million.
Thank you, Mr. Oliva.
Are there any questions?
I don't have any members in the queue. Thank you.
Darn it.
Mayor Bronson is in the queue. Go ahead, Mayor Bronson, with your clarifying question.
I forgot the 5 seconds for booing. Do I get a point of personal privilege on that, Suzanne?
No, sir, but Mayor Bronson has a clarifying question for you.
Mr. Oliva, thank you very much. I was just curious as to, over the years, it seems like over the last couple of years, Ms. Allard seems to be a good supporter of yours, and I was just wondering what your thoughts are on her support of you historically, on your challenges and what she can do going forward for you from the legislature. I'd just like to hear your comments on Ms. Allard.
Miss Allard, you have more courage, more spirit, and more heart than all 11 of the remaining assembly people, and I'm put in the mayor. And it's unbelievable. You will be greatly missed, and I know you will act in the best interest, even though I'm not from your voting district. What you said was true. And you represent everyone.
Thank you. A point of order has been called, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Thank you for your participation in the appearance request. That brings us to the consent agenda.